This is John Kelly of the Kelly Law Team, and I want to talk to you about Uber and Lyft accidents, car accidents. If you've been injured while a passenger in an Uber or Lyft or any other rideshare company, or maybe you were the driver of an Uber or Lyft and were hit by a third party, there's some unique circumstances that you should be aware of. The first thing that you need to know is there's some additional protections that you may have access to when you are in a rideshare as a passenger or even as a driver. These companies have actually additional insurance that can cover you, and oftentimes those are very big policies. At the time of this video, the last I checked, Uber had a $1 million policy and an underinsured policy of $500,000. And I think Lyft had a $1 million policy and a underinsured of $1 million. So what this means to you is that your injuries potentially you can make a full recovery. What we find in the typical auto accidents, and these are very similar to auto accidents because they are auto accidents, but the difference is that sometimes there isn't the insurance there. The person that hit you only has $15,000 available to you as a max recovery. And that's the minimum that Arizona state law requires people to have. But if you do have an injury that happened in an Uber or Lyft or a rideshare, you have that additional protection. So now that you know that you have the potential to recover fully, the first step that you need to do is make sure that you've established your liability. And what that means is that you've documented the scene. And what you want to make sure that you do is call the police, get them to the scene to do their own investigation. If you don't have that opportunity, or if you've already been through it and the police were not called, there's other things that you can do. You can get witness statements from other parties that were in the vehicle. You can get photographs of the scene. Sometimes there's video from commercial properties around the area that might have caught it, or on Phoenix has videos in their traffic intersections. Some of this evidence can be obtained by you to help establish liability for the accident. Remember, if you're a passenger and there's an accident, even if your driver was at fault or partially at fault, you're going to be able to make a full recovery. Sometimes if there's a 50-50 split, the other party was 50% at fault, your driver was 50% at fault, you can still make a recovery. You're just making that against two insurance companies. So there's some complications that can arise. The focus that you need to do is make sure that you're documenting as well as possible. Another thing that you want to do is make sure your medical expenses, what you've been through, your recovery process is all documented too. And I always encourage people to take notes about what they've been through. And it may be a daily log that you're taking about what are the things that you used to do that you no longer can do because of the accident. Collect all your medical bills and records and establish the claim with the insurance companies. If you call my firm, we do these things for our clients. We make sure that we get an investigator if necessary. We document the scene. We get the witness statements. Make sure we're establishing liability so that you can fully be compensated. If you'd like to talk to me about an accident, please give us a call here, 602-283-4122.